Hey guys, thanks for joining me today. I'm RJ Stewart of RJ Stewart Inspire, author of Entrepreneurs Code, co-owner of ProEnity LLC, and founder of Entrepreneurs Corner. And today I want to talk to you about this. Now, what is this? This is the most underutilized wealth building tool available to the mass market that no one knows about. I won't say no one, but a lot of people don't know about. That's why it's so underutilized. Now, before I tell you what this is, I'm gonna play a game and see if you can guess. First, would it be A, portfolio for the stock market, B, 401k, C, a Roth IRA or a Roth IRA, or D, none of the above? I'll wait. Alright, if you guessed D, none of the above, you are absolutely correct. This here is a life insurance policy. Now, a lot of people say, RJ, what the hell are you talking about? A life insurance policy? Well, yeah, you can have a great death benefit from it, but I'm dead. What good is that going to do me? I mean, you can leave wealth behind for your family, but what is it going to do for me? Now, if you're thinking that, you're probably familiar with a term policy, which in that case you'd be correct. Now let's go through that real quick. A term policy is usually set up for a term. That's the reason it's called a term policy. So you can set it up for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, heck, even 30 years. Now what happens, you pay a premium. You pay a premium on that policy until that term is up. If something happens to you while you're paying that premium or during that term, then a cash benefit is paid out to your beneficiary or your loved one, whoever you named as that beneficiary. Now, yeah, I know that doesn't do anything for you while you're alive. So, let's talk about what this is. This is not a term policy. This is called an IUL, an Index Universal Life policy. Now, some of you are probably familiar with the universal life policy. When we talk about a universal life policy, we're talking about a flexible premium where you pay what you can afford as far as your premium goes. So you're not limited to what you have to pay. So you want to do a universal life policy with a flexible premium, you could put in $10 a month. That's on you. Now, let's put that index in front of it. First of all, an index universal life policy is not a term policy because it doesn't last a term. It falls under the category of permanent policy, which means it lasts throughout the duration of your life, typically 100 to 120 years old. You know anyone 120 years old? I don't either. Thus the reason it's called a permanent policy. So, with that said, let's talk about what this policy does. All right, so let's talk about what this policy can do for you and building your generational wealth. So we talk about independent universal life. So this 250 here, this right here is your premium. We spoke about the premium earlier. That's what you're paying monthly into this policy. So what happens with the index universal life is that a small amount of this 250, that premium, is going into this death benefit over here, this bucket right here called the death benefit. So should you pass away, your loved ones or your beneficiary or your beneficiary is paid out that death benefit that's stacked up. Usually I will put about 5K here. Over here, you have that cash value. That cash value, what's not going into that death benefit, the rest of it is going over here into that cash value, where it's doing three things. It's growing, it's tax-free, and it's protected. It's protected. When I say protected, I mean you hear a lot of stories, and there's a lot of examples that we can go through. But when you look at 2008, when you look at any time that the stock market crashes, or any time the economy does bad, even a little bit earlier this year, um, you started seeing people in a panic. You started seeing people losing a lot amount of money, especially in the stock market. You started seeing 401ks starting to deplete. Um, that's not the case with this. This cash here is protected. Alright? So let's talk about how that happens here. When we talk about this word index, there's also a universal life. But we put that indexed right here. Let's talk about what this indexed means. So, sorry about that. So indexed. Now, if you're familiar with the S&P 500, you have the Dow Jones, you have NASDAQ, you have, numerous. So these are the big guys. This is what I mean when I say indexed. You see the red line here? This is every time the stock market goes up. It's when the stock market goes down. Now you can invest your money in the stocks if you want. You're more than welcome to. You're taking greater risk, but yeah, you get higher gains. But those risks, some people like to play it safe. They don't want these risks, way up here and then bam, way down there. And then, I hope that it levels out again, or I get some gains, Now you have this blue line here. This blue line. This is that IUL. This is the IUL. When the stock market rises, that cash bucket that we talked about on the last slide, that cash value, it moves up with the S&P 500. It doesn't get all of its gains, as you can see. There's a little bit of gap here. It doesn't get all of its gains, but it gets some of its gains. But when the stock market drops again, look at that. That blue line, the IUL, never goes down. It just stays level. So it's always safe. It's always protected. It's either gaining or it's staying leveled. Once again, you see the stock market go up again. Alright? Well, so does that IUL, that cash value. It goes up again. It goes up again. Once again, it doesn't get all of the gains, but it does rise with the stock market. When the stock market goes down again, our IUL does not. That cash value does not. And so forth and so on. You never lose. You cannot lose on this. Now, some people like to go to the casino and right off the bat bet everything in their pocket. And yeah, you can gain a lot, but you also stand to lose way more. So, personally, I like to play it safe. Alright? Alright, so we talked a little bit about that term policy. We talked about the index universal life, which is also called the IUL. And so, still, your question is, how does that benefit me? Some people are able to borrow against that cash balance. Um, there's a bunch of different things that you can do with that built up wealth, including taking care of yourself during your golden years, having living benefits. How many of you know of an elderly grandmother or grandfather or even a neighbor that could have used that could use that money to be able to take care of themselves, provide care for themselves. They need a live-in nurse or anything like that. This is money that would be able to fund that for those years in life, instead of putting that burden on your children or grandchildren to have to take care of you for the rest of your life. This is money that can fund that, or this money could just simply be money for retirement during those golden years to be able to retire. So this is definitely something that I think that everybody should look a little bit into, you should know about it because, like I said, this is a major wealth building tool that's very underutilized and used, not well known by the masses. But now you know about it. So what are you going to do about it? You want to talk more about it? DM me, or you can visit us at www.proentitylllcgroup.com. Um, our email legal@proentitylllc.com, or you can catch us on Instagram at RJ Stewart Inspire. Sorry about that. Or give us a call 1-800-590-6832. And I'll see you on the next video when we talk a little bit about annuities and how they can also help you secure that financial future and create generational wealth. So I'll see you next time.